$10, $15, you know, like for 3 different levels. What do you... You like that idea, though? Is my stream back up? Can someone message me on the chat and let me know? I lowered the rate. I lowered the rate to 1400, so it's easier for people to get on. Mhm. All right. Yeah. Nice. I'll mention that in the program to vote as well. You know what I mean? So we get that as well. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can someone tell me if I'm online, please? Am I online? Is my broadcast online? I'm assuming yes, because you just wrote what? Thank you. Oh boy. We'll be starting in about a minute, guys. Right on the dot, 9:30. Welcome to the Roundup. I am Strictly Zlatan. You know me as the Gator. Today, we're going to discuss a couple different things, but I'm going to start off right off the bat and go to the standings. It was an interesting week in league play. But, of course, FP is still on top, and doing the math, unless they lose out and pretty much lose every game, they pretty much will be number one in the standings by the end of the season mathematically. Legends are second with 34, Yoga third with 31, Strictly fourth with 24, and then you have AC Milan pushing a little bit now at 16, Atletico with 14, Valero with 14, and Arsenal with 11. So, honestly, it's been a rough season. I want to talk a little bit about Arsenal and Valero. Arsenal, they got a little bit of a slow start in signing players, and they've had a little shuffle going on. I still expect, and I'm going to say this, Arsenal will be in the middle of the table by the time this is all done. They made up some ground this week. They're at 11 points, at 3 points out of going to sixth. I really see them pushing that fifth spot, but that's just me. FP United had convincing wins all week. They pretty much beat up on everybody, so kudos to them. Defense was outstanding again, but I did notice they did let some more shots through for Khan, so I don't know if that was by design to give Khan a little more work, but I did see that he had 23 saves this week, which is a complete jump, 50% jump from last week. Speaking of that, let's go over the top scorers for this week and see who did what. All right, we have a couple of people who are on top this week. We had Marvinho with 4, Kang with 4, Perfection TM with 3, Alex with 2, Alexandrinho with 2, Ronaldo with 2, Montoya with 2, Toddy with 2, Hattie with 2, Zlatan with 2, Shady with 2, and so on and so forth. That's your top 10. One thing I did notice, and this is something, and I'm going to be very honest when I say this, it's you guys, the owners, and I'm going to say this, there's one person that did not make Team of the Week because the stats came in late. Because I did the Team of the Week yesterday, and I started at 9 a.m., and I see someone who has goals here that were not there before. So I'm not going to mention who it is on the air, but I need those stats 24 hours after that game. And I'm sorry for the player that's going to get penalized, but that's just the way sometimes things go. I'm going to say this. I'm going to highlight some players here who had an amazing week. Marvinho. 4 goals and 6 assists from the cam position. He averaged a 7.95 match rating. That's unheard of. Good job, Marvinho. Honestly, you're a class act in this league, man. Kang had a great week at striker. 4 goals and an assist. Perfection TM, 3 goals and an assist. But honestly, what's kind of weird about these numbers is there are a lot of strikers that stacked with 2 goals. A lot of strikers. It goes from Ronaldo down 2. Honestly, it looks like it was a more balanced week scoring than I've ever seen. Going into the season stats for goals, Ronaldo still has the lead with 15. Merckx with 8, Montoya jumping up with 7, Sturch with 7, Kang with 7, Messi LX10 from Atletico with 6, Hattie with 6, Zlatan with 6, Marvinho with 6, and Babs with 5. That's your top 10. What I find interesting about this is when I look at the numbers, by far, Ronaldo is the class of the league scoring-wise. And I know we were talking to him last week about his team and the culture at FP. And one of the things that I found very interesting, and I know a lot of you did as well, was that he gave credit to his teammates and the players around him. And I'm going to be honest, he's got a heck of a support system there at FP. They run that as professionally as can be seen anywhere. When it comes down to it, they have a heck of a group of core players that are there, and it kind of shows when you have 2 Hall of Fame candidates And I will say there is a third one that will be coming for a Hall of Fame candidacy as well. So they're going to have 3 out of 5 of the Hall of Fame candidates this first go around. So I really want to say that's a heck of an accomplishment. These guys don't play, they play to win. And, I'd like to see that more, in this league. I want to see teams that are competitive and pushing for these titles, and it's something that, I'll be honest with you, I see it as a good thing for the league, because one of the things, even though they have a lot of talent over there, it doesn't mean that you can't work towards that. And that's the example. That's the bar you want to reach. One of the things I also want to mention, okay, and this is kind of off topic, but I'll get into it right now. We do need owners for World Cup. On the side of the website, there's an ownership application. I'm going to get to the ones that I saw. I was thinking it was going to be next week with the way everything was looking, but I'm going to try to get it done tonight and tomorrow, and talk to some owners or potential owners for World Cup. I'd like to get it to a minimum of 8 teams. If I could get more, that'd be great. It's going to be a draft process. And what I mean by that is I'm going to do this, and this is kind of to help everybody out. I'm not going to be a pain in the butt, or I'm not going to harp on little stuff. As long as you have players that are on the roster by the end of the season, and I'm talking the league season, I'm not talking cup, they need to play in a league game. If they play in a league game, they are eligible for the World Cup. Same thing but here's the thing. I've seen a couple of players that have played strictly cup, and those players have expressed concern to me because their owners aren't letting them play during league games. And I want to make something clear. If I get a couple of those, I'm going to allow them in as well. And the reason being is that's not their fault that their owner or their AM isn't playing them. So I'm going to monitor that. What I will do towards the end of the season is I will produce a list of players that are eligible to be drafted, and I will share those with the owners, so they can start, setting up trials and getting their tryouts ready, and trying to scout a little bit and see who they're going to grab. World Cup will be played Saturday, Sunday, and Monday during normal league times. So that's very important for everyone. That's not going to change. That's not going to be anything that's going to change at all with this. Other thing I'd like to mention, there is a poll up on the website right now, which is about Memorial Day weekend. I have some concerns, and I've been hearing around that some teams may not be able to get enough to play on Memorial Day weekend, which is understandable. That's why Strictly Chavi put up a poll actually, and we're going to poll the community. We're going to give it till Thursday night. When we see the results of the poll, we're going to make more of an informed decision. Owners, if you have an issue with this weekend, will you please either send me a message on Kick or send me a message on the website so I can kind of get a head count on what is really going on. Let's see what else we have here. I'm looking at housekeeping notes. The website. As you can see, the website has gone through a major transition. I've been picking and choosing what I want to do. I kind of moved some stuff out, brought some stuff back in, changed the background, moved stuff around. This is pretty much going to be the final product, guys. So I'm going to be tweaking little stuff, but there won't be much to tweak. As well as we now have a mobile site that if your phone, if you're going through a phone or a tablet, it should direct you to the mobile site. As well as today, we released apps for Android and Apple products. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. These apps took me a lot of work. I had to go through a lot of trouble. Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to put them in the Apple Store or the Android Google Play Store because it costs money. And unfortunately, right now, I'm going to be honest when I say this. I have a lot of money going into this as it is right now. So I put them up on the website for you to download directly, as well as on Facebook. Feel free to use those. Those are there for you guys to make it easier for you to navigate and get to what you need to know. Let's see. I'm looking at the standings. And one of the things I want to talk about is this, okay? I keep an eye on forfeits. I keep an eye on what's going on in the league. I know some of you like me, some of you don't. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care because it's not a popularity contest. But one of the things I will say is this. If you're an owner that is having difficulties, come to me. I'm here for you guys. I understand some of you may be forfeiting for reasons that are not within your control. And I'm going to be honest, that's something that I'm not going to penalize people for. But what I need you to realize is if you don't talk to me, I can't help you. So with that being said, I also need to know from owners, let's give it till the end of next week. If you plan on returning as an owner for the next Vpsa regular season, not the World Cup, but the season after, if you can shoot me a message and just let me know I plan on returning so I can kind of get a head count. We have about 8 new applications for new owners for next season that are looking to get in as well. Just to give you an idea about what I plan to do for expansion, guys. We're looking at, right now we have 8 solid teams. I think the 8 teams we have and the owners are all very good. Some have run into difficulties, but that's expected. I'd like to expand slowly, maybe get to 10 to 12, depending on the quality of the owners that are applying now, and go from there. The ultimate goal is probably 2 to 3 seasons down the line is to run 2 divisions and go into maybe more of a relegation sort of setup. But with that being said, we have to build the league from the ground up, which means we need to get these quality owners in, and we need to get these guys in as quickly as possible because the foundation is the owners and the players, guys. That's obvious. Speaking of that, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting much more. I kind of want you to know, though, with everything, this week was a really tough week for Team of the Week. I'm going to say this, and like I said, a lot of stats came in late. When I look at everything, I kind of try to figure out, what the state of the team is as well with those stats. I want to thank the owners that get their stats in early. You guys are really helping me out, the ones that do that. Because it kind of sets me up in a better place when I'm doing this Team of the Week and I'm doing the team sheets and updating who you release, who you add. It's definitely a process. To give you an idea what it takes, I started at 9 a.m. this morning, or yesterday morning. I didn't finish till 2:30 with both the Team of the Week and the team sheets. So it's a process, guys. I don't want you to think it's something that's 15 minutes and out. It's something that I want to do for you guys for the league to make it right. And speaking of that, let's begin with our Team of the Week. I just want to say it was a great week for a lot of teams. One thing I will highlight, there is a thing now where we added here. Some of you have been upgraded to silver cards. The ones who made Team of the Week 3 weeks in a row, like these 3 weeks, you have to be on Team of the Week 3 times. You have been upgraded to a silver inform with a 90 overall rating. Okay, and I'm going to go through those now. But what I'm going to do is start on the benches like I always do. I'm going to start with the center backs. And our bench center backs for this week are ZTR 415T from Strictly. Had a goal, had about 9-10 interceptions, was all over the place this week. Good job, ZTR, like always. The other center back that was on, all over the place. And honestly, FP, you guys, you amaze me with your numbers, dude. Even your backups. And I don't call this guy a backup, but technically he's a backup at the position because he's really a CDM in my eyes. Inform Vidal. All over the place again. Had a bunch of interceptions. Was, pretty much all over the place. Doing what he does for his club, which is be a key contributor in, in all facets of the game. When you look at Inform Vidal's numbers, 8 interceptions, average a ridiculous 7.8 match rating, and it's kind of funny because, like, when you look at Vidal and everything, it's kind of funny to think because you look at him and you go, okay, he's a natural CDM. He does what he needs to do when he's on the pitch. But, dude, this guy is a class act, too. Like, honestly, most of the guys from FP are class acts. I wouldn't look at it any other way. The one thing also with Vidal, and I'll say this, is he had 2 clean sheets. So that's a nice, he had a really nice week. Let's see. The starting center backs. Well, you know what? I'll just say it. FPI Roberto Carlos. He's been there 2 straight weeks now. His former gamer tag was Chino Anthrax. I know that. And honestly, another great week for him as well. 3 clean sheets. He averaged about 6.5, 7 on the match rating, which doesn't do him justice. But what you have to realize with defenders, I'm looking for clean sheets, guys. That's going to be the determining factor. Clean sheets, or if you do like a goal and an assist or something whacked out as a center back, that will catch my eye. The other center back, which we all know who it is, another FP, and he did get his silver card. AXN Sosa. You're now a 90 overall, and I'll post that up. This will also be posted on their team sheets as well, guys. Another amazing week for Mr. Sosa. 3 clean sheets all over the place. Averaged about a 7.5. Just had a great week, But FP always, the defenders are quality. There's nothing you can say more than that. All right, let's go to the outside backs. Now, the same thing as last week with the outside backs, guys. There weren't too many to choose from that had great numbers, so I just chose the best 2. There's no bench outside back. So your starting left back is Tachyonic Boot from Manchester City. I'll say this. Tachyonic is one of those players. Don't sleep on him, dude. He's tenacious. He is tenacious. 5 interceptions. He played 1 game at center back, 4 at left back, right back, had 5 interceptions. Just an overall menacing presence on the outside. The other outside back, which I'm very proud of, you want to know something? I'll say this. He has come strides from when I first met him. To me, he was kind of a tweener. I was going to put him at goalkeeper. Then I saw him at outside back. And then I saw him all over the place. And then he just settled into that right back. And it worked out quite well, honestly. And I'm glad that he's on my club. Jinx Pituga, congratulations, buddy. You really earned this one. 6 interceptions, clean sheet. Honestly, he was a tackling machine. I remember one game he had 5 out of 6 tackles, and the other game he had 3 out of 4. Just a presence on that right side. So for that, I want to say, Jinx, thank you for all your hard work, buddy. It does go noticed, and it doesn't go unnoticed at all. All right. At the CDM position. Backup. And believe me, he's not a backup in anyone's mind. He's to me, he's a definite Hall of Fame shoe-in. Solantes 19. Congratulations, buddy. Great job overall this week. You know, when you think about Sell, you think about positioning, you think about his aggressiveness on the ball. Um, Definitely a great player. Of course, he had 3 clean sheets as well. He had an assist this week, 13 interceptions. You know, that's the type of player I want on my pitch any day. The starting CDM. And you know what's kind of funny? Roe was talking about him. And honestly, it was one of those things when I talked about him as well. Um, he's a very loyal player in the right situation, and it's obvious FP is the right situation for him. Montoya 11, congratulations, my friend. You know, you've earned it. You worked your butt off to get where you're at, and now you're doing what you need to do. Montoya had 2 goals, 3 clean sheets is like Celantes, 10 interceptions, and a man of the match. So Montoya, congratulations, buddy. Well earned. All right, the backup outside mids. You know, it's kind of funny with the outside mids. When I look at the stats and I look at stuff, it's kind of one of those things where it was close this week for a lot of outside mids. And, you know, one of the things that kind of is like a factor for me is what did they do? Did they have goals? Did they have assists? If they look similar to me, then I go to man of the matches. And that tells me a lot about what you did and what you didn't do. So I'm going to begin with the outside mid on the right side. That's the backup. And it's his first team of the week selection. And I think it's going to be the beginning of many for him. Because I'll be honest, when I met Snugsy Snoopy, who is now strictly Xavi, he was raw. Has a lot of talent, but he was raw. But there's something about him that stands out in how he plays the game. He has vision. He knows when to push the ball. He knows when to hold it. And I'll be honest with you, he's playing outside mid right now, but I really think down the line he will be a cam. And I keep throwing that in his face so he knows what I think. But congratulations, Xavi. Well earned. Xavi had 1 goal and 1 assist. He had, 5 interceptions, and he had a man of the match to his name. The one thing about Xavi is he also plays all over. He also had 10 saves this week in the 1 game he played at goalkeeper. So, congrats, Xavi, again. Left mid, which, you know, honestly, he plays right mid or left mid, but I think he mostly plays on the right, but just because of the way things ended up this week. He's a regular. He has, I believe, 2 team of the weeks. And that's Sturch 91 from Legends. Congratulations, Sturch. Sturch was another one, you know, that when you look at his stats, he had a goal and an assist, 6 interceptions, and a man of the match. And I believe, you know, when you look at those things, you kind of go, well, you know, what separates that person from, let's say, someone who, you know, has no man of the matches? Well, here's the thing. If you have a man of the match, like I said, that means you were dominant. So that's going to give you the nod versus others. So congratulations, Sturch. All right, let's go with the starting right mid. He actually has 2 cards on this team of the week. He has one for manager, and he has one for right mid. That's Alexandrino X. Alex, all I can say about you, buddy, is, you know, you do what you do. I don't have much to say when it comes to how you play because you know how to play this game probably better than most people. The dribbling, he has the ability to dribble. He has the ability to beat people off the ball. When he wants to, he can be probably one of the most aggressive outside mids I've ever seen. You know, his numbers speak for themselves when you look at the numbers. He got 2 goals and an assist, 11 interceptions, and a man of the match. Well done. You know, again, you know, all I can say about Alex is he's always there. And the weird thing this week about Alex, we all know, He has a bronze inform right mid because he made Team of the Week twice at that right mid spot, but he has a silver inform manager card because he's been the manager of the week 3 straight weeks. So congratulations, Alex. You definitely earned it, like always. I want to see you keep it up, buddy. Okay, the cam position. At the cam position, the backup, which is a newcomer to Team of the Week, he's from Atletico Madrid. FK Arthur 11. Arthur had an interesting week. It's weird. He scored the tying goal. Or actually, he had the game winner technically against Strictly. And what happened was he scored in the 89th, and then we came back and scored in the 90th. But he had a goal and 2 assists. And I know he had an assist in that game as well against us. So he had a goal and an assist against Strictly. I know that for a fact. 11 interceptions and a man of the match. So, he played 3 games as striker, 3 games at cam, but all his numbers came from the cam position. So, congratulations, Arthur. We hope to see you here a little more, man. Keep it up. At the other cam position, what can I say about Marvinho? Marvinho is an amazing overall player. If you look at his numbers, they're just off the charts. It's like I can't express enough. 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 interceptions, 2 men of the matches. He's the engine that feeds Ronaldo and feeds everyone else on the club. And I'll be honest with you, without him, he's an integral part of FP. So, Marvinho, great job, buddy. You had a great week. I know I missed the starting left mid, but I kind of did it purposely. Marvinho has a 90 overall silver card because this is his 3rd week at that as Team of the Week player. Same thing for our starting left mid, Kid Mascuti. Good week. He had, I believe, a goal and an assist, if I'm right. Let me see. Goal and an assist, 7 interceptions, but the match rating was ridiculous. He averaged about a 7.4. So, kid, keep it up, man. Like always, I know you're plugging away, doing your thing. So, good job. Strikers. Strikers. There's a little change at striker this week. On the bench at striker, the first bench striker is PF Totti from Strictly. Totti had a very good week. Honestly, the thing with Totti is he's a great striker. Can go hot and cold. That's the thing with Totti, though. If he's really hot, no one can stop him. And he only played 3 games this week, but in those 3 games, he got 2 goals and 2 assists, averaged a 7.5. So, Totti, great job, buddy. You earned your spot this week. At the other striker position on the bench is FPI Ronaldo 9. Ronaldo had a little bit of an off week scoring-wise, and I think it's because the scoring was more balanced on FP's side this week. I know, Ronaldo likes to dish the ball and likes to work 1-2s and work around his players. He had 2 goals and an assist. And had his normal week stats-wise. Honestly, I know the goals are a little lower, but the match rating's still high. So to me, that's probably one of those things where he was distributing the ball and being more of a playing 1-2s. Probably that's why you see Marvinho with so many goals. They're probably working off each other, which is a great thing. Starting strikers. We have Kang from Legends. All I can say about Kang, the dude can play anywhere. He's an absolutely beast. 4 goals and an assist. 1 man of the match. Averaging 7. he kind of makes the legends tick. You know, him and Merck are a lethal combination when they're both playing up top. So congratulations, Kang. You had a heck of a week. And finally, we have the last striker, who's a starting striker. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I don't like giving myself Team of the Week unless I've truly earned it. But I had a very good week this week. 2 goals, 4 assists, 2 man of the matches. You know, and I'm going to say this. I look at Team of the Week as a team achievement. So I'd like to thank my teammates, my midfielders, the guys who got me the ball, who enabled me to feed other people and work the ball around. I kind of see it as a team unity. We're starting to get better. I know the results aren't showing it right now, but I have a feeling if we continue down this path, we're going to be a presence in the playoffs. So I want to say that. And, you know, with that, I do have a little surprise interview for all of us before we conclude the program. I'm trying to see if I can get a hold of him right now. So if you guys allow me 30 seconds, I'm just going to mute the mic a minute. Okay. On the line, I have Strictly Hattie from Arsenal. I wanted to kind of touch base and touch with another team here because we've talked a lot to FP, we've talked a lot to Yoga, but I want to kind of talk to Hattie. Hattie, are you there, my friend?
I'm here.
Hattie, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
I'm doing great.
So I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about Arsenal and see how things are going over there. I know you guys had a rough start, you know, with the chemistry on your club. Can you tell us what you've seen maybe in the past week and a half? Do you see an improvement with what's going on? How are you feeling on the club right now?
You know, like you said, we had a lot of problems with chemistry. I mean, we brought in some players that we knew, but it was a matter of, you know, practicing, getting everybody to gel, which, you know, we weren't able to do right away. But within this last week, you know, we switched to the 4-2-3-1. I've been playing up top by myself. I think our problem lately is that, you know, we haven't had a steady camp. So we've been switching camps to see what would work best to, you know, my liking. And like I said, you know, we've been switching things around. So once again, even towards the middle of the season, we still got chemistry and stuff to fill out.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You've been switching around cams. Maybe, I don't know, is there a possible deal in the works to get someone in there, or are you going to stand pat with what you have at this point?
Yeah, we have a deal with Strictly in place. I just got to, you know, talk to the player about his role and stuff. C-List is who I'm trying to bring in to play cam for me.
Okay. And tell me, what do you like about Lynch at the cam position? What makes you want to bring him in?
See, the problem with our cams that I have right now is that they stay on the balls too long. And when I try Lynch out, whenever, you know, he first came in before he signed with you guys, you know, I like the way he moved the ball quickly. Whenever he got surrounded, he wasn't scared to, you know, go back to the D and, you know, we can attack from a different vantage point and stuff like that. So I definitely like his ball handling skills.
Okay. So tell me, does Arsenal have any other surprises up their sleeve, maybe during the transfer window right now? Anything that might, you know, shock the world?
We may have something coming up, but I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, come on. Give us something, at least a position, so we can kind of get an idea?
We may be bringing in a center back. All I'm going to say is in WSL on the 360 when I won at Liverpool with Lindsay, he was the anchor at center back. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's got a heck of a pedigree on him that he's played in leagues before.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, Hattie, there have been rumors swirling around about what's going to happen next season with you. Are you going to own next season, or are you going to go play on another club next season? What have you decided? Because I know you had been contemplating several different things.
Well, I can tell everybody right now, I'm not being an owner. I will be a player, and I'm not going to spoil it for everybody else. But just know that I already have a club made, and let's just say FP going to have some problems next season.
Wow, those are some rough words coming from Strictly Hattie, the fighting words, but that's good to hear. You know, I think we do need some more competition, and honestly, when you look at the way the landscape has turned out, FP has definitely run away with things this first season back for the VPSA. My other question for you, and I'm just kind of going to throw it out there because you know what? You've played with many different people. You've played left back. You've played center back. I believe you've even played outside mid, and you've played striker, of course. Am I right on the outside mid? You played outside mid in the past, right?
Yeah, I played outside mid.
Okay. Out of this, because I know deep down you want to play striker. That's your preferred position at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you had a strike partner out of all the strike partners you've played with, who would you say would be your strike partner? If you would have a dream team strike partner you played next to, who would it be?
You know, I play with a lot of good strikers like, Jamie, ODG Shadow was good. I played with you when I owned last year in WSL. But, out of all the good strikers I play with, hands down, no doubt about it, his vision is, to my liking. And he can play big, he can play small. And at the end of the day, like I said, when I choose my strike partner, they got to have vision for me. So, hands down, my dream strike partner has to be Strictly Zlatan.
Wow. You made me blush there, dude. I thought you were going to say Jamie, to be honest. I appreciate that, dude, honestly. So tell me, what are the plans for Arsenal for the rest of the season? I'm going to be honest. I project you guys. You've got 11 points right now. I project you guys to get in the middle of the table, top 5, which means you'd probably have to win, out of the next 9, you'd have to win 6 out of 9 to do that, to be in that contention based on what I see on the computer. Do you think that's doable? Do you think you guys can win 6 out of the next 9?
Well, like I said, if we can get that anchor at center back, have him play with Odom, and they wind up playing well, and I get the cam that I want, I'll be satisfied. I believe we can do it.
Okay, but isn't there a little controversy on your team? Wasn't Baby J playing cam?
Yeah, he was, but we both decided it was best for the team if, he took a step back and helped in at CDM.
Okay. I gotcha. What about your midfield? How do you feel your outside mids are doing right now? I know you have Lindsay, who's ranked very high in the leaderboards. Who's playing on the left side for you guys?
That's another, so We've been also changing at the land position. We've had Parsley play. We had Royce play. We've had Truth play. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you, that land position is up for grabs. I mean, there isn't a clear-cut person who, I've liked over the other one. I mean, Royce right now is, leading a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's not a clear-cut on, who's going to play Lamb or Cam.
Right. Okay. And I know your defense is pretty solid, especially if you bring in that extra center back. I know you have Finest EU back on that outside. And who's your other outside back? Slickster?
You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
I said you have Finest EU on the right back, if I'm correct. And I believe you play Slickster at the left back, correct?
Yeah, we play Slickster at left back.
Okay.
And we have Finest and Odom at central center back.
And I want to throw a little shout out to Finest. How you doing, Finest? We've talked a couple times this week, but I know you guys have the drive and the passion to push yourselves up. I'm gonna say this: whoever plays Arsenal this week, I think they should be very, very careful. And if it's not this week due to the holiday, of course, the week after. But my point is, when you have Strictly Hattie on the pitch, he will create. He's not a greedy striker. He will pass. He will shoot. He will do whatever it takes to beat you. And you know what? That's one thing I'll say to you. He's probably, like I said in the past program, he's my favorite striker to play with as well. With that, Hattie, I'm going to say this. Good luck for the rest of the season. And, definitely let's get back in touch, like going towards playoff time. And maybe we can discuss, where you guys ended up and what you guys plan to do for the playoffs. You there? I think I did that. Strictly Hattie may have disconnected. But with that, I'm going to conclude the program. One of the things I want to talk about more than anything this week, and this one thing, last thing I have to talk about, we have now the player trade requests up. It's been up since the transfer window opened. Players, if you're looking to make a move, you have a one-time request you can use. Also, as per the Constitution, if you have not played in a game at all, please contact someone on staff. We will verify that, and then we will move you back into the free agent pool. With that, I want to thank you all for listening. It's been a great week, and it's been a great season so far. Like I said, we'll keep you posted on the weekend and see what we're going to do there. Please vote in that poll so we can get some real numbers and see what the availability is going to look like for the players, guys. Good luck to everybody this week and next week. Talk to you soon.